Hello, hello, hello. In my last video, I guess it may have come across that I was maybe came out across as if I was attacking the parents or accusing them. I wasn't doing either. As I've said, children do not come with owner's manuals. They don't come with instructions of how to raise them and what's the right or correct way to be a parent. But the fact is, she was 16 when she went missing. She has since turned 17 years old. And the best notions that they can come up with is one, someone lured her out of her house and took her and has either put her in trafficking or has her somewhere and not releasing her. Two, she ran away to go back to Florida, where she evidently had friends and family where they lived prior to moving to Georgia, or she ran to Illinois where she could be with her biological mother and her brother. Now, in my opinion, there's got to be a reason why on the news and all the reports that we've heard about Kaylee is that she sometimes goes by her birth name, Jillian Page Temple. Now, with her being 3 years old when she was adopted by the Joneses, she wouldn't have had that attachment to that name. She would have been told later on about her adoption, and these are your biological parents, yada, yada, yada. This was your birth name you were given at birth. At 3 years old, I do not believe she would have remembered that. She had to have been told. So what is the reasoning behind her wanting to go by her birth name? I mean, I don't believe it was the fact that she was old enough to have just started wondering about her birth mother and birth family and needed the attachment thing. She grew up with Kaylee as her name. So there had to have been a reason why she wanted to go by her birth name. I can understand her wanting to go up there to get to know the people, to understand what happened, to understand why she was given up or taken. Maybe things weren't as happy at home as mom and dad are trying to make it out to be. Maybe she didn't want to be there, because in the end of the interview with Sleuth Mom that Danny and Brenda did, Sleuth Mom asks them, if Kaylee is watching this, what would you want to say to her? I found it very odd that Brenda starts laughing and says, "Come home. Just come home." And she's still laughing. And at the same time, Danny says, the dad, "Or don't come home. Stay where you're at. As long as you're happy, just let us know that you're all right. Let us know you're safe." That's an odd thing to say. What if she is with some older man and she thinks she's happy? You're telling her to stay there, just call and let you know where she's at? That's not the correct message to send your teenage daughter. Even if she is, what, 10 months, 11 months away, somewhere in there, from having her 18th birthday. Even when your child turns 18, you do not say, "Oh, just go do whatever you want to do. As long as you're happy, just let us know where you're at." You don't do that. You want your child home where she's safe, where you can help guide her. And you don't laugh when your child is missing and you have no clue where she's at. You don't laugh when you tell her to come home. Sorry, that's just my opinion, my feelings about it. I'm not accusing mom and dad of doing anything, and everything I've said is alleged. But I will say, you have to wonder why this child has run twice now. Why does she want to use her birth name instead of her given name that she's had all of her life? And why would the dad say, stay where you're at if you're happy there? I mean, is he just thinking of him and his wife and how much trouble these children have been? That he just don't want any more trouble, don't want the argument, the fuss, the fight? Is he just throwing up his hands, giving up? Well, sorry, sir, you can't give up on being a parent. Not especially when you're the parent of a child you chose to be a parent of. I mean, you can't give up being a parent anyways. But y'all are seeming to forget that you chose this child. It wasn't like you just got pregnant. And another thing that just really irks me is every time he wants to throw in this child's face how they saved her and her brother from the horrible life. And no, I know he didn't say that, but that's how it came across to me. Imagine how it may have sounded or would sound to Kaylee if she hears it. Or I'm sure she's heard it most of her life, the way he said it. They saved them from this horrible life that they had. They should be grateful. That's not something that you say to your children either. I mean, how wanted does that make these children? I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. By these parents saying stuff like this, a child would not perceive it as being wanted or welcome. Guys, get Kaylee's story out there. Get Kaylee's story, her name, and her face out there. We need to find this child. She may be 17, but she is still a child. She's autistic on a high level, of functionality, but she's still naive to the world. We need to find her. We need to find out why she left. We need to make sure she is safe. Help spread the word. Don't forget, guys, always pray for these missing children. Love your own children. Love your parents. Call them up. Say thank you. Thank the good Lord above for what you have. And I'll see you on the next video.